Welcome to the meeting of the Plymouth Community School Board for July 5th, 2018. You'll join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item on the agenda is to set the agenda. Are there any additions or corrections?
Yes, we removed the consideration of the JESI agreement and the St. Joseph Regional Medical Center nurse agreement. So those two items just didn't quite get completed. And we added a resolution for that's related to state board accounts. The authorization for timely payment of claims. We added just some documents related to the agenda items that were already set, and then there were a couple of personnel additions that have occurred in the past few days.
With those adjustments, I would need a motion to accept the agenda.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item 1.3, audience participation. Are there agenda items that anyone would like to speak to this evening?
Board prior PDA, item 2.9, transfers, and item 3.11, consideration of administrative contracts.
What was the first one again, I'm sorry?
2.9, transfers.
Oh, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. The next item is the consent agenda under section 2. Are there items within the consent agenda a board member would like to pull out and have considered? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Sorry.
Have a motion and second. Anyone who had a comment or question on 2.9?
Yes, a question on the transfer of dean of students to assistant principal. Just reasoning behind the change, as well as what would be the financial impact of that change.
Sure. We are reducing one administrator at the high school as we absorbed one of the directors from WSOI as she helped ship it in there. With that, roles and responsibilities will change for the two supporting administrators for Mr. Condon, where there'll be more of an assistant principal role. Financial impact will be $1,600. It increases the number of days. Therefore, the contract was readjusted, or on approval will be readjusted. I'll give a further breakdown for you on that more.
The $1,600 is a reflection of the increased days of the contract. Thank you.
Does that address your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions on the consent agenda items? We have a motion second on the favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Section 3, business transactions, project update.
Yes, I'm happy to welcome Eric Anderson from the Skillman Corporation to provide an update. University of contract. Eric?
Hi, good evening. Thanks for having me. I'll be here at every meeting until we start wrapping things up and finish the project. So what we'll do is I take some pictures, provide a little narrative on what's happened since we've gotten started so far.
I just trying to do look like I
You ends up turning on. A lot of site work going on. Takes a little bit of work to get the site ready so we can actually use it to build. They completed the relocation of that existing water main that was running underneath the building. So all that work has been completed, worked with the city, tested all the requirements that they have in there as far as doing all that work has been followed, and the city's okay with everything that happened. They got the building pad elevation to a certain elevation established, so next, that part is a foot below finished floor. So now we're gonna start doing the geopier, the rain aggregate pier system underneath the foundation walls. It's just another, the soils weren't really conducive out there to build on as far as holding up the building, so we're doing this additional supplement to make sure that it eliminates some of the settling that would occur. They got about, there's probably 300 or 400 piers they got to auger in. So they usually, they're saying they're going to get 50 to 60 a day. So we got about a week and a half, 2 weeks worth of work. And then soon after that, we'll be starting with machines and foundations. Things are going to start picking up pretty good here in the next month as far as various other trades being on site. We'll get the laydown areas built, established. We'll start working on the underground stormwater and sanitary sewer. So that's his next big, not big road, that's the next task out there for the site. But by about 2 weeks, you'll start to see, footings, excavated and digging for footings. And hopefully by the end of July, we're shooting for starting burying walls around the gym.
I got a question.
Sure.
How deep do the piers go?
It varies. For the most part, they're about 5 to 6 feet below the footing. So if you look at that finished grade, they're probably 8 to 10 feet down.
Okay, thank you.
And it depends on how much weight they're holding up. Depends on how big, how round they are.
Understand?
So there's probably 5 or 6 different sizes.
You mentioned 2 to 3 weeks at 50 a day or whatever. That was anticipated, correct?
Yeah.
In terms of the schedule.
Yeah, we're tracking real well right now. The plan was always hopefully have walls done by early August, and I think we're gonna be there.
No rain outs yet, but
No, it seems to rain at night all But yeah, I mean, with the way he's grading it out right now, he's got pumpers out there, so he's not letting the water sit, which helps a lot. Keeps it dry.
okay, appreciate it.
You can put through some of the pictures. Do I have it?
Yeah, you can put it.
Oh. Sorry. So on this report too, you'll see some words in there about unit A, B, C, D, and E. So I have a floor plan pasted in there at the bottom to kind of give you an idea. And that's always, we can tweak that. But, yeah, that's the site. That's where the new building's going. That's them just working on moving some dirt around. Early on, Joel, our site manager, went up on the existing building, we got a few shots from up there, so that was pretty cool. But as we get going, we'll have a schedule in here so you guys can always cruise through that and check it and ask questions. Yeah, so next month there'll be more pictures and a lot more activity going on. Sorry, I didn't know I had to.
Appreciate the update.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Item 3.2, consider from the high school assistant principal.
Yes, it is a pleasure to recommend to you this evening Mr. Josh Martin as assistant principal at Plymouth High School. Josh has been at Plymouth High School as a teacher for quite some time now. Has served in many roles. English department teacher, department chair for the past several years. Has been a lead teacher. Has also served as our head boys soccer coach. We had nearly 40 applicants for the position, and Josh rose to the top, and he will be a great addition to the administrative team as they continue to progress. So, again, it's a pleasure to recommend him to you this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, comments, questions? Yeah, I'd just like to congratulate Josh. I had him as a student. By the way, he was an A student. So congratulations. He's come a long way. Appreciate the opportunity. Wish you all the best. Comments or anything you'd like to?
I just appreciate the opportunity to join a great administrative team that's already in existence and just want to make an impact on the students and the kind of culture we have here at Plymouth. So just really excited. Appreciate the opportunity.
Very well.
Can I say a few things?
Well, you didn't sign up.
Well, I did. thought there might be something about open our building, but I was on the committee, among several teachers that interviewed our candidates, and Josh clearly was the choice for us. And one of the excitements about it is because of his experience in the corporation with what we're trying to accomplish, that we know he can hit the ground running. So, it was a good choice, and congratulations as well.
Well, I appreciate that, and there's so many aspects to what you're about to embark upon, not the least of which is the interaction with the staff. And coming from the staff, I think I'm not a part of that staff, but what I hear and see, and I think I know, it should, like you say, hit the ground running and really just add to what we're have been trying to do at the high school and throughout the corporation. So, wishing nothing but the best and, to both of you. So, congratulations.
I can't wait to go text my kids. I think there'll be a lot of former students that will be very happy. I'm saying my stepbrother was a bumpy bee. Josh Martin. You don't even know he
Very good. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations. Item 3.3, consider food bids.
Yes, before you this evening are food bids sent to us from Director of Food Service Gloria Burnham. This has gone through the procurement process from our service center, and before you this evening for your consideration and approval.
So, second. Motion and second on receive for consideration for the food bids. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3.4, adopt transfer resolution 2018-3.
Yes, as noted, the school board back in 2010, maybe 16, wanted to start to build on the rainy day fund. And we have, 2016, I was right, 2016. So what we would like to do is, I have put in here that we had a balance remaining in our capital projects in December of 2017, and we had an appropriation balance remaining, and that is put into this resolution, telling the amounts, and we would like to request to transfer $150,000 from capital projects to the rainy day fund to start to help build the rainy day building.
Thank you for the explanation. Has the resolution, is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion and second to approve resolution 2018-3. Questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. 3.5, adopt authorization for timely payment of claims, resolution 2018-8.
This was brought about, and we felt this would be a more clarifying resolution than the one that is generally done in January, due to the fact of some questions that the State Board of Accounts had. It was nothing that we were, they had a notation on the audit, but so we thought this would be more clarifying, and then we wouldn't have questions in the future, and we'd run it by Jeff with you. He could probably explain it.
The purpose is, under Indiana law, the board has to allow the corporation to pay any claims. So typically you do that by pre-approving those claims every monthly meeting. Occasionally those claims come due because of contract terms or due dates on those claims. They come due prior to the next meeting when you can approve it. What this resolution does is it gives the business manager authority to pay those claims that are going to come due prior to the meeting, and then present to you a list of any of those claims that were paid prior to your review and approval. Any claims that are due after the meeting would still be pre-approved by the board at the meeting. It's the same thing that's done at that end of year resolution of periodic checks, except it allows that procedure to occur throughout the year.
So moved.
Sorry.
And motion is second to approve resolution 2018-8. Maybe you just answered my question, that what we've done previously was only at year-end to this type of process.
Did it in January for the year, but it
That's right.
wasn't as clarifying as this. This one's a little clearer resolution.
Precise.
Little
sorry?
precise.
This was more precise, the one in January was more kind of broad scope, open-ended, you can pay your claims in advance. This one's indicating and clarifying that if we have something due for the next board meeting, you're giving us permission, which is what we've been doing. But if it's not due until after the board meeting, then we'll wait until the board meeting and report it off. Before we pay.
So this will supersede the one that we already approved.
Correct.
Yes.
And when we say clarifying, it's probably not clear to you as you read it, but this resolution specifically tracks the language in the statute. So, I did draft this, but I don't want you to, ascribe any authorship to me, because what I did was use the language from the statute to make sure we're in exact compliance with what the legislature said.
So, I mean, the basic premise is, we don't want to incur penalties or anything like that, to the extent our meeting schedule doesn't line up with a payment. And these are typically for claims that are normal anyway in terms of.
Most are net 30 days, but when you get board meetings that are once a month, you get to the net 30 days.
Right.
And then we start to tack on fees if you don't, so. And practically everything runs through appeal. So that we have established if instead of comment.
Well, I'm glad we've started up this vision home in the So we have a motion second to approve 2018, resolution 2018-8. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3.6, consider selection of newspaper for legal advertising.
As in years past, I'd like to recommend to you that we continue to use the Pilot News as our paper to which we submit required advertisements.
So moved. Second.
The motion second, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
3.7, consider approval of annual financial report for publication.
Yes, in your packet, you will see the annual financial report, which is based on the year ending December 31st, 2017. It's in arrears, but it has a varying amount of information that then gets posted in the newspaper, which will be news.
We just approved it.
Right. And it will go somewhere between August 1st and August 15th. And it shows financials, revenues, pays, the averages of teacher pay, and vendors that we pay up to $2,500 in various salaries.
So moved. The motion is second. Any other questions, or any questions or comments? Something we do every year? Yeah. We have to.
Yes, and then it gets uploaded to the Department of Ed after it's advertised and have proof of publication.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3.8, consider future evaluation plan for 2018-19.
Yes. While there are no recommended changes to the teacher evaluation plan, it has gone through discussion with PEA and is an annual requirement of the board to adopt. Therefore, it's recommended to you this evening for your approval.
So moved. Motion is second. Any comments or questions? Is this the same as in?
Okay, no changes.
Correct. Or anything on your end? motion second, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. 3.9, consider the Michiana Behavioral Health Care Center agreement.
Additionally, this agreement also has no changes to it, but it does need approved every year. In our relationship with them, we also apply for some funding. And so, again, no changes from last year, but it is potentially this evening for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion and second, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 3.11, consider administrative contracts and conditions and benefits.
Yes, in here, presented to you this evening are stated list of contract extensions, as well as the administrative conditions. There are a few changes in the conditions, more accurately reflect actual conditions for a couple of positions, and there was a small reduction in benefit in there as well.
So moved. Motion and second. All right, I think this is one we would ask.
Yes, I have several questions too, so thank you for your patience on it. The first one, I'm looking at the list of where we have salary ranges for the different positions. And currently we have these students as listed, but that position is going to be, or at least that title will be eliminated. And so will that stay on there or will that come off?
It's on there for now, as there are a couple of other positions that are listed on there based on circumstances, and so it's listed in case we were to ever need to transfer someone back or into that role, which is why it's there. It's not indicating that every line item you see there is an actual person.
Okay. And then the second question on the salary ranges, we have Widener School Inquiry Directory or Director with the range of $78,000 to $88,000. In the previous posting that is on the website, you have two co-directors, one with a salary of $70,974, a second one with $81,974. With the one that was vacated, which one was it out of it, the $70,000 or the $81,000?
The lower one was the one who transferred into another position, so when I make a statement that it reflects what people were earning, that's where that is. I put that in line with assistant principal positions in the high school as well, so it should all.
So was there an increase then for that particular position?
No.
Okay. And then moving to it was Article 2.9, where it talks about the salary, and it says when a new administrator is hired, his or her wage is set initially within the range associated with the position, and it says wages can be negotiated, just a clarification, within that range, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And further questions are with insurance. Just some clarifying questions. What it says within the insurance is what we currently have. The corporation pays a single insurance minus $1. Corporation pays a family minus $960. That has not changed. My question is, does that mean would apply to whatever insurance plan the administrator chooses? So we have, for instance, one plan in the family that's just over $22,000. That's plan 1, I believe. Where plan 3, which is a high deductible, is about $6,000 less. But if it applies to each one, I would assume most administrators would take the top plan. Does it apply to each one?
It would apply to whichever one they would select. Correct.
Okay. And so how many administrators do we have taking a single plan and how many do we have taking a family plan?
I don't have that information off the top of my head. I can provide that to you
Okay.
very soon.
And then are those terms guaranteed for the next 2 or 3 years of the respective contract? So those will continue to be the terms, meaning that when there is an insurance increase, the corporation in essence will pick up that increase.
Unless this body determines to change the conditions of employment otherwise, yes.
Okay, so they can change those terms of employment in the middle of someone's 2-year contract or in the middle of someone's 3-year contract?
I would defer to counsel on that one.
Any change would be effective at the end of the contract period.
Okay, so those benefits then they are guaranteed to the end of that contract.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
We have a motion second before taking a vote. Are there any other questions or comments?
I just comment that I'm very pleased with the administrative team. I think they did a great job, and I appreciate their dedication and their contribution.
With no other, we have motion second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Motion carries. 3.12, consider revision to the classified conditions of employment.
This is not a holistic change to the classified conditions, it's just for bus drivers and a necessary shift from their pay from a daily rate to an hourly rate. We were getting some feedback from the Department of Labor and it helps us to better track and ensure our ability to pay overtime. So we want to make sure we're doing things the right way there. And so the document see before you reflects that change. We have discussed this with drivers that are aware. We worked to ensure that in that change, if their route doesn't change, then they're not going to lose anything.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second. Any other questions or comments?
Is this for all bus drivers?
Yes.
A motion and second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Section 4, superintendent notes.
Well, not just throughout the year, but throughout the summer, we've been running our programs preparing for the upcoming school year. Continue to look at our commitment to all students achieving high levels, engaging our stakeholders, while continuing to pursue leadership with integrity and fiscal responsibility. We're working hard. I'm really pleased after a year. At the same time, we're looking at some necessary adjustments that need to be made and looking at that through our central office, our administrative team, and throughout the whole district. Evaluating curriculum instruction as well as a system of implementation to ensure that all kids are achieving. I'm also looking to improve our communication this coming year with our various stakeholders to further their engagement. We'll education of our students, and lastly, we're just going to continue to evaluate our financial status to ensure that we remain responsible with our dollars and continue to try to provide the best education possible for our kids and the best work environment for our employees. So just kind of felt like there were some summary and kickoff comments needed here, so as I conclude my first year with you and in this role, and look ahead to I hope continue to be a bright future for us.
And you're already. Appreciate that. Any questions for me? Anything else? Going back to, did you have a question?
I don't have a question, I have a comment if I could. I just wanted to start out one of your former high school students who went to Hoosier Girls State, and out of 500 girls, she was one of 2 chosen Good Girls Nation, which is in Washington, D.C. And she was part of the speech team, and I know her very well because I continue as a speech coach and other Sally was with her at Nationals this year. She was a tremendous gift, but she does do congressional debate for the high school team, and maybe one of the reasons that she was able to answer some of those questions better.
We had one this year too. Rebecca.
Good. Any other comments from the audience or the board? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn, thank you.